Hello Internet, my name is Zephyr and I want to talk about one of the coolest collabs that's taken way too long to happen. That is because Hot Wheels and Transformers are getting together for the very first time and making a whole bunch of stuff using each other's IP. And it is through this partnership that they have with Hasbro that is allowing them to make their iconic 1/64 diecast vehicles of iconic Transformers cars, with some of them even being done up in special colors and being made into rare chase pieces. Speaking of rare chase pieces, Mattel also tried throwing their hat in the ring on making a fully transformable figure because they made their very own miniature Optimus Prime, which in truck mode scales with your other 1/64 Hot Wheels cars. And this Optimus Prime looks especially good because he is painted in Hot Wheels' iconic Spectra Flame paint. While this partnership was very long awaited, and it is cool that Transformers is partnering up with the largest toy car company in the world, I want to talk about the flip side of this partnership because this also will allow Transformers to pick from Hot Wheels' extensive lineup of cars to use for their Transformers. And sure enough, we are getting exactly that, because it was only a matter of time before these two were unveiled. This is Twin Mill and Bone Shaker, the two Transformers Hot Wheels collab figures that are slated to release sometime this year. Hot Wheels has been around forever, and they have a very extensive lineup of iconic cars. But if you're going to make a Transformer out of a Hot Wheels car, you're going to want to use their most iconic and their most popular cars. So it makes perfect sense that the two cars that they would make first are the two cars that they're really trying to push. That being the Bone Shaker and Twin Mill. So what do we know about this collab? Well, they had two figures on display, so more than likely this is going to be a 2-pack containing these two figures. And given the size of these figures, we know they're going to be roughly deluxe size. So for anyone who is freaking out and saying that these things are going to be tiny and transformed to the scale of regular Hot Wheels cars, absolutely not. Not even core class is that small. We also know, thanks to leak listings, that these two are the first two of 4 Hot Wheels Transformers figures. And since we already had these two revealed to us, now it's time to debate on what cars the other two are going to transform into. This is going to really disappoint some of you hardcore Hot Wheels collectors, but they're more than likely going to transform into some of Hot Wheels' more popular fantasy castings. I'll never understand why fantasy castings get so much hate or why they don't get nearly as much love as the more realistic cars. And this actually plays into why they're choosing fantasy castings over just realistic cars. Because if they made realistic cars, then there would be no point in having a Hot Wheels collab in the first place. Recognizing that Hot Wheels has a pretty vast rogues gallery when it comes to their fantasy castings, I've been able to narrow it down to just a handful of cars if they want to only pick from their more popular fantasy castings. As a matter of fact, you've been staring at one of the cars I'm about to recommend, because ever since the 35th anniversary of Hot Wheels, it has been used in some of Hot Wheels' most influential media that they have ever made. If you've seen my previous Hot Wheels content before, then you already know exactly where I'm going with this. But I believe that one of the next Transformer Hot Wheels collab figures absolutely has to transform into Diora 2, making its worldwide debut in the Hot Wheels Highway 35 World Race movie. Both the movie and the car would go on to become incredibly influential for the Hot Wheels brand, allowing the car to permanently cement itself within the Hot Wheels Hall of Fame. Even though this is a hypothetical, you gotta keep your expectations low, because even if they were to choose Diora 2 as the alt mode for one of these Transformer collab figures, you already know that they are not going to give us the Teku or World Race livery. But moving on to another car that is extremely likely to get picked for one of these Transformer Hot Wheels crossover figures, it's Roger Dodger. It's one of the OG cars, it is one of the most famous and iconic Hot Wheels cars, and the reason why I say this is extremely likely to be picked is because just look at it. It already looks like every generic muscle car transformer out there, so it would be pretty easy for them to adapt Roger Dodger into a Transformer. And if they truly wanted to go balls to the wall, they could try making one of their Hot Wheels monster trucks. I really doubt they would go this option, however, because that would likely mean it would be a Voyager or a Leader, and more than likely they're going to want to keep these 4 figures in just deluxe class. Mind you, I have not even taken into account the Hot Wheels Legends Tour yet, because if they really wanted to surprise everyone and throw everyone for a loop, they could make one of the winning cars from the Hot Wheels Legends Tour, like the 2 Jet Z. And I have not gotten into the fact that both companies would quite literally be printing money with this collab, because there is an infinite potential for repaints. We all know how much Hasbro loves their repaints, but what if I told you that Hot Wheels is the exact same way? For example, here I have Bone Shaker, which is one of the cars that we've already seen being made into a figure, and as you can see, it has a ton of awesome looking repaints. Neither of these companies are any strangers to redecos or repaints, which makes this Hot Wheels Transformers collab seem like a match made in heaven, because they're sitting on a gold mine. Sadly, it does seem like this collab is just going to be a one and done thing. They're only going to make just the one color scheme for these figures and that is it, which is unfortunate because they have a gold mine and so much potential for repaints to where if they really wanted to, they could keep on milking these molds until they've made every color of the rainbow, so that way you could get yours in your favorite color. But as I'm closing off this video, I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think Hasbro will be smart enough to pick you or two to make into a Transformer? Or will I have to storm their headquarters and smack some sense into every employee there? Then I have a very special announcement to make because I am doing my very first ever giveaway where I am going to be giving away this fully 3D printed custom Matrix of Leadership popcorn bucket. How is it a popcorn bucket, you may ask? Well, that is because you are able to pull this matrix apart just like in a movie and flip the center crystal around, revealing a bowl for you to put your snacks into. And here's how you can enter. Just send an email to zephyrprojectgiveaways@gmail.com, and most importantly, make sure the subject says giveaway entry if you want your entry to be counted. I will be choosing at random and I will announce the winner on April 7th, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. And as always, thank you for watching.